Okay, we are back. It is the Hot Seat Radio Show. We are live. Me and Sean Fortine, Tay, Wildcat Wilder, and of course me, local troublemaker, Donovan Sadiq, and we're going to bring you the local shenanigans of what's going on in the Inland Empire, Moreno Valley specifically. Last night we had the swearing in of new council members and the ass kicking of some council members that obviously had to go because they did not have a concrete record for a reason to stay. And I don't mean that like as against George Price or anybody like that, but in my situation, everybody knows who I'm talking about. Like I said, when you're a bank robber, you do not run for, number one, you got in there questionably. Number two, you don't run for re-election. At least if she hadn't ran, she could have said, well, I served for 2 years and I walked away. But no, ego kept her where she's at. So, Tay Wilder, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, you know me. We're in Edgemont Studios, by the way. That means my front living room because I'm doing a lot of construction and stuff. So getting ready for the holiday season. Me and Sean Fortine, you were at the event last night. How you doing?
I was in the cheap seats.
We noticed that you had your Represent Us yellow shirt on.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Lakers shirt at first. But
no, I don't have a Lakers shirt. I don't follow basketball.
You don't follow basketball either? Okay. So Sean is a political informant type, important issue type guy. So sports and stuff is something he's just like, well, if it happens, it happens. It doesn't, it doesn't. So give us a quick assessment. Sean, let's start with you since you're the go-to guy.
I found a lot of the comments public comments were kind of just sleepers and a lot of like love fest for Gutierrez.
Yeah, all the ass kissing. I just couldn't believe it. It was
but I think a lot of people missed what Scott Heverin said about if he's going to have to put up with Trump for president, that he's going to have to put up with the new city council members. And well, Scott Heverin loathes and despises Trump, and he's been on. If you're on his Facebook page, he has a lot to say about Donald Trump. And he's comparing them to.
Hey, what is wrong with putting billionaires and millionaires and trillionaires in positions where they could make more money? What's wrong with that?
Well, I just think there's a lot of people that don't want the city council compared to Trump either because they don't want to be associated with him either. I know I'm one of them.
Well, Tay, you were there and you were texting me and keeping me informed of what's going on. You were in the peanut gallery, from what I understand.
Yes.
So, like I said, you're, a military veteran. You're fairly new to this city. I mean, you're from the Inland Empire, but
yes,
moving to Moreno Valley. What was your assessment? And this was your first swearing-in ceremony.
This was my first swear. It was. I was there because of Dave Marquez.
Right.
I think he's a great guy. And
very, very good guy.
He lives in, he's now representing my district. So
and a veteran, Air Force veteran.
Yes.
Whoop, 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 whoop. So
he's a great family man. He's a smart man. So I was there to support him. But last night was comical.
Well, tell us about something that
I get to hear the comments from the peanut gallery. So it was hilarious. So a lot of the comments, I figured people were going to try to get their last digs in.
Right. If I was there, that's what I would have been doing. But go ahead.
It was, people trying to get their, jump on their soapbox unnecessarily and do a lot of butt kissing. Now it's, Mayor Gutierrez, I love you.
Yeah, you're so great. You're so great for this city. I mean,
I still really want to know. I want an answer of what he's done for Moreno Valley.
Exactly.
Because no one can tell me.
Exactly.
And I've asked a multitude of people, and no one has told me what he's actually done for Moreno Valley.
They claim he brought 8,000 jobs, but if you count, he's counting every temp job. So
right,
some people are double, triple, quadruple counted, and
but
he never counts all the layoffs.
Right. But how do you count jobs that were in the making before you even sat on the seat?
But how do you count seasonal jobs? That's what I don't understand. How you can't count seasonal jobs.
But he's a teacher, so the math doesn't add up. But he's a teacher, isn't that an oxymoron? He's a teacher, but anyway. But
maybe it's the Common Core math.
Yeah, it's something.
I love Common Core.
Yeah, I don't understand it. Oh, you're close enough to the answer, really?
Yeah.
And they say that he's so good for the city, and he's
But he never did a single social event in Moreno Valley.
Nope.
He didn't. He showed
Neither
up
did
the
Baca.
first event.
Baca did one event.
He showed up and left. He didn't even.
Well, he didn't even come out of the parking lot.
He didn't come out of the parking lot. He never did anything to engage,
the
except
voters.
for that one. No, he did one event. Excuse me, that was the one that Highland Fairview did. I think it was like a barbecue or something.
Of course. That is an event because nobody else was invited.
But at least Baca showed
it's
up.
Highland Fairview event, of course.
Yeah.
It's mandatory for him to come.
It's like mandatory fun. Yeah. Well, he's paid to go.
Yeah,
so
commander's call,
Baca showed up to the one.
Right, for the church that was just trying to get highlighted for themselves and stuff like that. So, and she was on Valium or some kind of drug, and I don't know what her situation was because she was out of it.
I just don't understand how all these people voted for Baca and for Gutierrez, and they never.
Well, here's the funny thing. They keep saying he won by double-digit numbers. Baca won by an exorbitant amount. But yet, if you look at the register of the people that are registered to vote, it's more than the people that they're claiming to vote. I mean, there are less people that are registered to vote than actually voted. And then they're not even talking about just in this district, 3,700 votes that weren't even counted.
Wait, that's a new one. I haven't heard it. So there's more than 100% turnout?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, if you look at the numbers, yeah.
All the toddlers and dead people showed up.
Just people maybe voted twice. We don't know what's going on, but and don't get me wrong. That's why you guys haven't been seeing me lately, because I've been at the ROV trying to understand the numbers, because if we know mathematics in a bell curve, if there's 8 people, there's a significant distance between the first person and the last person, which forms a bell curve, because you're going to have that bell curve statistically. So when me, Chris Baca, Mercado, Perez, all these people that didn't show up, all these vote splitters, we're within 10 votes of each other, there's something wrong. There's something wrong.
I just kind of hope that all these people that did run still remain involved within the city.
I doubt that.
I doubt it, but again, I'm trying a new an optimistic.
Yeah, optimistic.
That I'm hoping the city council will actually grow some balls and do something productive with the city.
This developer has a super majority.
Well, he got sat right up front like he owned the damn
right,
place.
Exactly.
Well,
and
he technically does.
And here's what everybody's got to understand. Just like Chris Baca alleged to, we are now looking at a $800 million, if not more, infrastructure bond, because on his property there's no piping. You got to get that before any construction can start. You got to get piping.
The city can't pay for that. I mean, the city's debt to asset ratio is going to be completely shot. The city's credit rating is not going to be.
Do you think Edo cares about that?
I still got streetlights out, so how the hell can the city pay for anything?
Hey, he doesn't care about that. I mean, all they got to. The vote will never go to me and you. He's got a super majority. That vote will stay at the council, and I guarantee you. Watch how these people are going to continue to vote. Dave Marquez, they're going to hand him his hat. And like I said, me and Dave are good friends. I'm just saying, for my friend, I feel bad, because if these previous people who ran actually cared about this city, they would have been strategic in how they ran candidates. And nothing against George Price, but I honestly think he should have stayed in his seat. But the good thing for him is Marquez took over that seat. Mm-hmm. But Baca had Jimson had no business running in her seat. And then we should have found a candidate to run for mayor, which was not Denise Fleming, was not her. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem. We need to find new candidates, younger, newer candidates.
Well, what about District 4? Because that's up in the air, right?
Well, Raymond Sawyer is in the running to do that because he took money from Highland Fairview.
The biggest problem is getting candidates that are letting their ego get the best of them, even though they're not the best candidate.
Right, but that's why I'm saying we need to go for younger candidates that are progressive. And when I say progressive, I'm not talking about Democratic progressive or Republican progressive. I'm talking about people who say, you know what, enough of these old handkerchief head baby boomer types. We need young, new millennials. I mean, my career is over because I have other things I want to do, doing what I'm doing. So if I'm willing to put my political aspirations, which are none, to the side, we need to start looking for stronger candidates. And speaking of which, Jerry Mercado called me and we had a nice conversation.
That's a very smart man.
Very smart.
Very smart man.
Very smart, but he didn't understand when we had our conversation. He didn't understand the ramifications of jumping into that race. and what was going to transpire. You know what I mean? It's one thing to be smart, but if you don't know what's going on in politics, you just jump in there it's just like I did 2 years ago. When I jumped in, I'm being optimistic and, I'm a smart guy, but I didn't understand the whole ramifications of what was going on.
I think we have a lot of really smart, intelligent, politically savvy people with integrity.
Right. And
that wouldn't bow down to our sole developer that's in the city.
And that's a younger person.
Yeah. And the thing, I'm just chewing on the whole $800 million bond thing, because, if you usually by the time you pay off all the interest, that's usually like 2.5 times whatever the bond, how much it matures,
right?
Yeah, but then if the city's credit is worthless, then it's going to be very high risk, and the city's not going to be able to cover. The city's going to be having to pay more than it's borrowing. They won't be able to cover the costs of it.
But again, that's the city. Remember, Ito was supposed to be taking care of everything, right? He's supposed to indemnify the city. Has he been doing that? No,
he's still a couple $100,000 behind on his payments.
So, do you think he's worried about that? He's got a council that is not going to pressure him to do anything.
My only concern is the long term of the city. This whole WLC thing seems to be a thorn in everybody's side, either the pros or against, or people that are just floating in the middle.
The uncertainty of it.
The idea that we've put all of our eggs in this basket, like it's supposed to be a savior to the city, or
all you got to do is say jobs, and people are just going to be excited.
I don't understand the logic behind that, because everyone knows that you never put all your money on one horse.
If they were doing it right, they would have had like heavy industry, like something similar to like maybe a steel mill, that type of heavy industry, and then some light industry, like some manufacturing, some fabricating and stuff. You'd have like some service jobs to service those industries. You'd have retail. You'd have entertainment. You'd have a variety of things like that, and I'm probably missing a few things that you need to round all that off. And all we have is low end retail, like
Big Lots,
Walmart,
99-cent stores,
and fast food. And then apart from that,
I want to say something so bad.
All we're going to have is warehouses.
And that's what we have. When you have a city that exactly what you described, it tells you a lot right there. So it's up in the air. So real quick, we are joined by our executive producer, Demetra Coulter. She is the owner and founder of The Polished, and she's the Phantom Menace in Moreno Valley politics.
Is that so?
That is very, very so, as she funds all various candidates out there.
Yeah, right.
We could call her the Phantom.
Yeah, I'd say she is a Phantom because, she had Highland Fairview candidates she was doing, and she was, like Ito.
Working
magic. She's getting paid. It's a business to you, right?
Yes. But not all money is good money.
That's true.
But she's the Ito, but she's actually producing good things.
Right. Well, what I do have to say, what she does in her job is very impressive, because some of the people that she's worked with improved so significantly that it was a shocker. So how are you doing? Everything's good?
Everything's great.
Family's hanging in there?
Yeah. Everything's good.
How's Al?
He's awesome.
Yeah. Al's this guy. Me and Demetra have been, in a relationship for what, 30, 20, 25 years?
Why you gotta put your business out?
Hey, I gotta let everybody know,
This is why I tell you no.
So everything good. Trip was great. How does it feel to be back in Southern California in this nice cold?
It feels good. Yeah, I miss being home, but obviously I have to be away for a while.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Walter's going to write me that big check, or what's happening?
He might.
Okay. If you guys, this woman knows a lot of stuff. So if you need a financial advisor, if you need somebody to cut your grass, whatever.
She's jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades, master of none. But we were talking about the election last night, and or the swearing in ceremony last night, and the ratio of warehouses to residents. And again, when you have 99-cent stores, I was just in the City of Commerce like 3 or 4 days ago. Mm-hmm. Now, notice the key word there, City of Commerce. Mm-hmm. Because that's exactly what it is. All you saw was train tracks with containers on it, trucks with containers on it.
Commerce, California, Commerce, Georgia,
right.
Commerce, Florida.
Exactly.
But
now we have Warehouse City, Inland Empire, and that's what they want to turn this thing into. I mean, it's just cut and dry. I mean,
and they don't have the rail in the right place. They don't have the freeway or the interstate in the right place.
None of that. Yeah. And but it's full speed ahead, and that's where we're at today when it comes to that. And here's what I'm going to say, and this is what people are not talking about. Disparity of the people selling their homes quietly. It used to be known as white flight, but now we're a more diverse thing. That people with money
wants to get out.
Yeah, everybody wants to get out of here that has disposable income. So disposable income flight is leaving.
I have some new neighbors that had a house in Moreno Valley and decided, this is not where I want to be. And they've been here for like 20 plus years.
Right. I mean, a lot of people are jumping ship. They're out of here.
I live in an apartment, so they're in the apartments temporarily.
Right. Downsizing.
Until they move. And they're just moving down the road to
San Jacinto or
Menifee.
Yeah, Menifee.
They're moving down to Menifee.
I
pass every day. And
it doesn't.
It's hot down there.
Exactly, but it doesn't make sense because we're only 32 years old. And again, and Dee, you say this a lot. When you don't know, you just don't know. But when you do know, you do better. And when you have all these people that have come here from L.A., Victoria Baca, and all these people, that's all they know. And this isn't what Moreno Valley actually was.
But even still, if you come from L.A., you know that there's amenities, there's things to do in L.A. So why wouldn't you get on the city council and try to implement a lot of these things? Because
Ito preys on people who are upside down in their houses and have a financial interest that they're desperate and they're willing to take that money. That's why he'll never throw money to me because they've already checked. My house is paid for.
Well, I live in an apartment.
Right.
You can slide a check my way.
Absolutely. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you at all.
I'll even take a manila envelope.
Right.
Untraceable bills.
But notice, those are the people.
But also, that concerns me about what you're saying about the houses because are these people that made stupid financial decisions in the subprime mortgage crisis? Did they buy houses that there was no way going to be able to afford?
No. The people that I'm saying that are leaving are the people that have.
No, I'm talking about the people Ito preys on.
Oh yeah, no. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say that because those are younger people. Ito is preying. Notice that the people that he uses are baby boomers. These people are in their late 50s.
Yeah, but aren't those the ones that are upside down on their houses?
Or in some type of financial straits?
Exactly. I don't know if it's just necessarily the houses, but it's a majority of those people make good decisions. Their houses are pretty decent.
Why would we stack our? Okay, this is just a rhetorical question for everyone listening. Why would we stack our city council with people that can't manage their own money?
Because this is Moreno Valley. That's my answer.
And they're yes people. They'll do the job that he needs them to do. So, yeah.
As long as they're getting paid, they don't care because in the end, Tom Owings, where's he at?
Who cares?
Exactly. Right. But you see, you do the work and then you leave. You take your check and then you go.
I will gladly take my check. I will spell my government name out.
Right.
So you get it right.
Well, Tay, I don't think you need any more money. I mean, you're already balling. By the way, when are we supposed to be going out? Because she's making so much money. I'm just like, wow.
My son turns 18 next month. Let me get through that.
Right. So, it's the holiday season. It's cold. Before we got on the air, we were talking about the homeless and the.
It's heartbreaking.
It's very heartbreaking out there. So Sean, you're and the mental illness. We got to keep this in the forefront of everybody listening. And
that's one thing I'm concerned about with this new city council is that Baca once tried to sue the JPA, and right now JPA is the only one that's in any position to build mental health facilities in the area, and Baca is. In the past, tried to screw that up to try and cover for Ito's project that when he had no idea what he was doing.
Right, and there was really no pride. He just didn't want the competition.
He didn't want the competition, but he had nothing that stood to be built.
Right.
So that's something that we really need to keep. All of us need to really keep an eye on because that's the JPA has got a company lined up that they're actually working on finalizing all the legal details on everything they need to build it. And once they build it, it's going to be a 150 bed facility, and they're going to have outpatient programs, and they're going to be able to host, and they plan on hosting a lot of support groups like your AA and your NA and support groups like that would provide the services long term to support people that really need the help.
Now, because you got to remember, the judge said you can't sue yourself because we were part of the JPA. Mm-hmm. Now, isn't it ironic how Gaiba and those Edoites that are on his payroll were for abolishing the JPA? So now, if they're not part of it and the JPA goes its separate ways, that project you were just talking about can be threatened once we're out of the JPA. So that's something we got to look at and have everybody be alarmed about. But
and that's the only, other than filling the city full of warehouses and making our entire
empty warehouses.
Empty warehouses, and having like part-time temporary jobs. If they screw up the mental health and homeless services, I mean, they're not going to be able to have employable people at all. And
we have a lot of mental health unemployable people already. So.
It's a lot, and I know I live in District 3, so we have a lot of people camped out in front of the CVS, and it's heartbreaking because it's cold outside.
And it's not just people; it's families.
We have people in trailers and people in broken down cars sleeping, and
so what are these council people going to do about that?
What are we going to do to help?
I mean, wait.
Because in reality, everyone is probably, for the most part, one paycheck away from being homeless.
Absolutely.
Especially in this city where it's like $10 an hour jobs and things like that. Mm-hmm. So to not have resources, everyone can't rely on 211 for emergency aid. We need to work within our own city, and our city council needs to step up so they can help or find some way to provide for these people who can't provide for themselves.
Right, but see, that's always been my question. If you're going to run for council, you better have some ideas. I mean, I don't have all the answers, but to me, it was ridiculous what I heard about, and everybody says I'm bashing LaDonna Jensen. I'm not bashing her. The thing is, we ran the wrong candidate again, and I'm letting people know so you guys don't forget. I wait for the citizens to come to me because I have no ideas. That is not a candidate. You shouldn't be running for council if you don't have any ideas. You guys might not agree with me, but
I don't see it as bashing. I mean, if a council member is not doing their job the way they should be, I mean, we have every right to hold them accountable and call them out on it.
But why run for council if you aren't into it to help the city? You're running because you want to contribute to the city, not say, I'm just here because I was on the PTA and I think that I would be a great... No, come on. And then it was so pathetic last night. I mean, just looking at her frumped as usual.
No, I think it was sad. I think she was sad to go.
Why is she sad, Tay? Please tell us.
I would be sad if I was on the council and I was there for a couple of years and now it's time for me to go. I'd be a little sad.
Well, whose fault is that? This woman would have won re-election, with my help, had she just closed. She was a bank robber. You don't run on honesty and transparency and then talk about, I dare somebody to run against me. You were set up to fail right there. And then during the election campaign, did you not give LaDonna some money or something like that?
I doubt it.
No. This woman got so much money, she don't know. She's like George Bush. She don't know what she owns, and like I said, I just hate to, you're a political person. I mean, come on. You have the mind of a political consultant type person. That cult of personality, she didn't even defend herself. She just, the arrogance.
No, I don't think it was arrogance. I think she was trying to take the high road. I'm not Olivia Pope, so I'm not a fixer, and I'm not, I'm not.
That's what Dee does.
That is your realm.
Yeah.
But I just assumed because she didn't, like with all those little stupid hit pieces and all that wasted money that people did that were actually effective. But
she plays the victim role every time.
She didn't play the victim. In my opinion, she took the high road.
Right, and hoping that her friends would come to her rescue, because she does that every time. I mean, Dee, am I correct or not? I mean, in your observation.
Just kind of from what I see, I don't know LaDonna personally, but just kind of watching the whole, I don't, watching the whole thing unfold, I honestly do think she's very cavalier in her position. Because we talked about this earlier on. We found out she had a felony when it first came out.
Donovan knows everything, believe it.
The first thing I said is if she has not told the whole story, it's going to come out. So it would be beneficial if she just tells the whole story. And sure enough, she didn't tell the whole story, and everything started. Everybody piled up on it.
And I know we had the same conversation. Mm-hmm. I was like, you can take it one of two ways. Either you can talk about it, say this is what happened, put your cards out on the table,
right,
and say it happened 30 plus years ago. Merry Christmas, or you can give little bits and pieces and
people are going to tear
all
you up.
Hell break loose.
Right, and that's what happened.
And all hell broke loose.
Right.
She also ran. Her defense was redemption.
Right.
I've been redeemed. There's something I did 30-something years ago. I've changed. And I mean, she might have changed, but you're not redeemed. You just got caught.
Right. Because if Baca wasn't going to out her, it would have continued, possibly. And I know this for a fact as a black man.
Someone else outed her.
Yeah. But I know this is a fact as a black man, and I was found to be a bank robber, they would have told my black ass to get up off of that seat right now.
And you know what else is funny? Was it 2014 when Chris Baca got up there and he alluded to her doing something illegal with Cadillac, some money and some board or something. Right. Mm-hmm. So I think he was on the right track. But she knew what he was talking about. Right. I mean, if this happened 30-some years ago, she knew exactly what he was talking about. Why not just get ahead of it and say, you know what, I have something to tell you guys.
Instead of someone forcing you to die.
Right. And that's exactly what happened.
But if he alluded to something back in 2014,
he did.
Then she should have gotten in front of it and said, okay, well, here's what had happened.
Right. Livia Pope. I told you.
Well, what she did was the next week, she got up there and vehemently denied everything and said it's not true. He's lying on me, all these lies and smear tactics.
You know, it almost seems like people tell Chris Baca stuff just to make it seem like the rumors aren't credible.
Right. Good observation.
Chris Baca, it ain't true.
Yeah.
But the thing about it is, in this internet age with Google and Google being just wonderful, she's here for you, for me.
Everything on Google's true.
You can find anything on Google. So why people just assume that you can say something and then
it not be researched or whatever.
On my iPhone, I could just Google and be like,
right. But everything on the internet is true.
Not necessarily, but I mean,
that's my point. That's my point.
I'm just saying, if you pay $15, you may get the truth.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's true too. So, you know, a lot of things that were very disparaging. So now he has a supermajority. Like Trump, if you're a Trump supporter or you're against him, whatever, all you can do right at this point is see what this council is going to do.
Well, no, you're not allowed to talk bad about Trump because, you know, you're a liberal, and those horrible liberals, that's what's ruining this country.
There's no such thing as a military person that's a liberal.
I agree.
So anyway,
but that's the root.
That's the thing in this city, whatever the deal is. So, Dee, let me ask you this: with your consulting thing, now we were talking about finding candidates, younger candidates, to look to the future because mayor is going to be up in 2 years. So Gutierrez is going to go right back into his campaign mode and gathering money and all that stuff like that. So if I'm a young person and I want to get involved in politics, just give us a little tidbit. I don't even want to give all your secrets out, but give us a little tidbits on what a person should think about if they're going to put their feet into the political realm.
I think the first thing they should think about is what do they want to give up? As a public figure, you have to give up your life pretty much. There's stuff you cannot do. Right. Just for an example, not saying anybody does it, but
you better not say nothing on
there. If you like going to strip clubs or something,
Gee, I said don't talk about me. Okay. All right.
Well, I'm a stand now.
You can't. I mean, you can, but how's that going to look?
Right.
Even on the internet, there's certain things you can't say. You can't post certain things because everybody is watching you. Also, if you're thinking about becoming not just in politics, but anything in the public eye, disclose everything. Everything will come out.
Right. So let me ask you this. If I came to you, I don't know anything about politics, and I say, I'm thinking about running for mayor. What is the first thing you're going to ask me?
Is there anything I should know?
Wow. That's a good, and I have to disclose everything?
You should.
Like if I'm gay or, I'm just saying, I'm not a gay basher, by the way. I'm just saying.
I would think that would be something if
I'm just trying to get a thing because people really don't grasp what it takes to run for public office.
Well, sexual orientation wouldn't really matter to me.
But I'm saying to you. But
well, if it's bad, if it's something bad that we're going to have to get ahead of or be proactive about.
Or somebody can use against it.
Yeah, we need to know about it because it's easier to be proactive than reactive. So tell me everything. Like you go see a lawyer. They say, is there anything I need to know?
Okay.
It's the same thing.
Right. Medical issues, bless you. Medical issues, girlfriends, baby daddy problems, child support issues.
Really anything that's negative. I mean, if you have medical issues, what can you really do?
Right.
Just about everybody has a medical issue. I mean, I have a bum knee, know.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's bad. If it's something that's going to harm your campaign or whatever you're trying to do, you should be forthcoming.
Okay. So basically, you give up all rights to your privacy.
You do. You do. There's a lot of things you cannot. And Donovan will tell you there's a lot of things he just have to stop doing.
Yeah, I mean, if I support single mothers, so those strip clubs really, really were upset that I've taken 2 years. Some people their kids can't go to college. There's all kinds of stuff.
Oh my God.
But stuff like that. But other than that, Tay, what is your outlook now that you've seen for yourself what is going on in the city of Moreno Valley? She took a deep breath. You can't help but laugh at this stuff. I'm serious.
No, my goal is to give everybody a chance. That is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I was, I moved here, over a year ago, so I only know what I know from what I've seen. Right. So whatever Baca did back, and whatever, then I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, I want you to be, now that you brought up Baca, I want you to remember that she will do something stupid. Yeah, she will.
I will be ready to be
pro
when the time comes, but I'm going to give this council the benefit of the doubt. I'm really going to try.
Well, when
the school board.
When they got you bent over and your hands are being pulled and they've got your pants down by your ankles, there's not really much you can do at that point.
Well, I'm not that deeply invested in the city,
so he's got strategic people. Evan Moron was there last night, and he was on his knees, doing what he does. I mean, so you know what I'm talking about.
No, it's okay. I think everyone has this internet persona, and then everyone, what they are on the internet behind, being a keyboard warrior,
right.
With the caps lock on fears. Right. That's one thing. And then to see him in person, and I'm not speaking about Evan Morgan.
No, it sounds like you're talking about me, but go ahead.
And then
you're a bully on the internet and in person.
Evan Morgan is pretty much what you see on Facebook is what you get no matter what sock puppet account he's using.
Right.
Well, yeah, but I don't know him like that. So, and to be honest, I don't really want to. Yeah. But because he just doesn't come off as someone that I would want to have in my circle of trust. Right. So
exactly.
It is just what it is.
Yeah, he's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I just hope that if he's going to be on the school board, my children are in this district. Mm-hmm. So unless he's going to be doing something productive on that school board, he better get ready.
Well, have you heard of Mike Rios?
Shall I Google?
Yes, you shall. You should. Have you heard of Mike Rios?
No, who's Mike Rios?
He's in jail right now.
Oh, that's great.
And he was on the school board, and he was supported by Victoria Baca.
Moreno Valley and people on boards end up in jail. What's
when you're on the school board and you're pimping 15-year-old girls in a prostitution type situation,
and
brandishing a gun in a what's that club?
Players Club?
No, the Hawaiian the Shark Bar, whatever that thing was. Yeah.
Oh, that place is.
He's on the school board.
He was on the school
board.
With
kids. Over the lives of kids.
Yeah, over the lives of kids.
Right.
And he was a big supporter of Victoria Baca, and Ito supported him. Isn't there a pattern here, the people that Ito supports?
Yeah.
Isn't that, it's kind of strange, isn't it?
They have, shall we say, flexible morals, and there are people that wouldn't be safe to put in your personal life.
Yeah, exactly. Marcelo Coe, supported by Ito Benvizi, he's in jail right now. And that's when people say, there was no corruption! Marcelo Coe is sitting in jail right now. So by definition, there was corruption in the city. And there probably is going to be a lot more.
And according to former District Attorney Paul Zollerbach, he said those people are completely dirty, and he doesn't know why Hestron close the investigations.
Well, I'll tell you why. Hestron closed the investigations because he received a donation from Ido Bendizi. And that's a fact. So, when people say that democracy or corporations are people and all this stuff, I don't think this country was founded on one man, one vote. One man, one woman, one vote. Now it's founded on I've got $1 million. So
checkbook.
Right. So my $1 versus your $10, that's my voice.
Well, that's my whole thing. I'm going to hope that people have integrity. I know it's laughable.
You haven't been here very long.
Wow.
I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, even though they have disappointed people before.
Several times. I mean, why do we elect people that have no record? You were recalled. You have no record of achievements in the 2 years that you were already sitting there. So what is Victoria Baca going to do for this district moving forward?
She has a long record. It's just all in District 3.
Yeah, it's in a different district. That's what I'm saying. I'm for jobs. All you got to do is say jobs.
I still don't understand where all these quote unquote jobs are coming from.
We got empty warehouses. Where are the jobs?
Where are these jobs? Everyone keeps talking about jobs. I don't see. Smart and Final. Where are these jobs? And what type of jobs are we talking about? Specifically, warehouse jobs?
Your kids...
Because Skechers isn't hiring in Marine...
There was an article on
it. They're not hiring in Moreno Valley.
Right. They're not Moreno Valley.
They don't have the education
there was an article.
That they're looking for.
There's less than 400 people working at Skechers. And then where's phase 2 and 3? Skechers not even complete.
And there was 1,000 people working at Skechers before they moved their...
Right, and they downsized
distribution center in Moreno Valley.
Right, because automation reduces workers. And when they talk about the 20,000 jobs that Highland Fairview talks about, there was an article. They're talking about the robots that they're going to be building. Mm-hmm. That's what they're talking about.
The thing is, everyone talks about robots that they're building. It's already been built. These things are already happening.
Right.
Downsizing in the supply chain management field is happening across Boeing, Northrop.
And you're an expert. That's what you do.
Oh, I was told I don't know what I'm talking about, even though I've done this for 20 plus.
Yeah, and you were told that by somebody who is, let my people go! I just know what's going on! Oh my God! What is going on, Price? And you, LaDonna, sitting up there! That was a pretty good impression. I need to go into comedy.
I think impressions are your thing.
Yeah. Hey, Nick Cannon tomorrow. Are you going to go to that thing?
Wildin' Out?
Yeah, Wildin' Out. Okay. Well, I'm going to see what my schedule looks like. But
but at most, as a rule of thumb, if the World Logistics Center was built today, you'd only have about 4,100 jobs because really only one. Warehouses nowadays only have about one job for every 10,000 square feet.
Right, and
that's only going to get smaller and smaller as there's more automation.
Right, and that's what the pedants were talking about. I know pedants aren't your thing, but if you listen to a lot of stuff that they said...
I think the pedants were on to something. It's just I didn't like the fact that you had to go through the one brother to get to the other brother. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. If you're going to run from there, then I want to hear from you. I don't need a gatekeeper.
Right.
And that was the only thing. And they were really long-winded. Smart, but long-winded, and I just don't like that.
And that's the funny thing. The people that are qualified to be council people, and I'm not saying like Dave Marquez, anybody could be a council member, but I'm just saying people that really have a vision or have a background in it never get elected.
And I hope the pedants don't go away because...
Yeah,
they bring something to the table.
Right. Carrie Thin, same thing. I think she has a lot to bring to the table. Unfortunately, I thought it was the year of the woman. Even I was shocked that your girl Hillary lost, but, all y'all feminists out there, I don't know what's going on.
The rule is just because we all have the same parts doesn't mean we all rock together.
There you go. That's true.
We don't rock together.
So there was just a lot of surprising things happening with the thing. Anything other interesting that happened last night? Like Scott spoke up. Who else on the anti-Highland? Because I saw it from TV. Was there that really spoke? That's what I'm saying. And that's why I'm kind of getting tired of going to these meetings because it's like it's only like 2 or 3 of us that are speaking for the so-called antis, and then you got this whole gang of La Familia on the other side, and it makes it look like there's nobody in support.
I just think it's sad that people who have an opinion, a very valid opinion, and they state that opinion, get booed and hissed because it's not the majority. Having your own individual thought is a good thing, and not going with the flow.
Right.
What's wrong with having an opinion? And I've never understood why it's such a bad thing, especially on social media in Moreno Valley, too. When you go against the grain or you have an original thought, you're automatically villainized in this city. And I've never understood why grown adults who pay bills and taxes and things act like such juveniles, when it just doesn't make sense to me.
I think what it is, it's okay, what's the definition of business and government coming together? Anybody know what that definition is?
Fascism.
That's fascism. And that's the era we're in right now. You got Trump up there. You got Ito controlling the city. You've got ignorant, uneducated voters and residents that think there's nothing wrong with that because they haven't read back far enough in history to see where we're going.
Well, we're going to start to repeat history here.
Exactly.
Apparently Moreno Valley, we're just in this freaking repeat loop. But
right.
We're repeating history, and I don't think people fully understand that. To sit here and say, hey, we have a problem, isn't anti-Trump, isn't anti-WLC. There is something legitimately wrong, and you people need to take your blinders off and see that this is not the path we want to go down.
Well, anybody that knows anything about history will tell you businessmen do not make good government servants. Never, because government does not work like a business.
Well, look who Trump is picking for his cabinet.
Well, yeah. Well, we're just not talking about Trump. We're talking about even at the local level. People say, "Well, he's a businessman. That's why I voted for him." Government does not work like a business. Even and it's crazy to me because Republicans are like, "Well, government don't create jobs." Oh, now they do. 8 years later, now they do. And you know what the funniest thing was after Trump won? People said, well, we've got to get behind this president and work together.
They didn't get behind
all of a sudden
at all.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm not a big Obama guy.
The biggest difference between
it's hypocritical.
Right.
The difference between the government creating jobs under the Democrats and under the Republicans is under the Democrats, it's a lot of literally government jobs where you're getting your paycheck from the Treasury Department, whereas the Republicans are trying to get businesses
rolling. But here's the funny thing. Just before we started this show, I was at Winco. And this guy was arguing with his girlfriend, Shaquita, whatever her name is.
Stop it.
No, I'm serious. It was like Shaquita or somebody out there. What was that I said the other day? What's her name?
Shaquita or
yeah,
something.
Shaquita or something like that. And he was arguing in front of Winco, right? And he kept saying, I'm a man. He's like cursing her out, right? And I'm thinking, oh, man, this is something you see in, the city of Carson or, Linwood.
Declare it. It's not
true. And he goes in there, and I'm going to the ATM to get some cash, right? And I see him having a, what do you call that? What are those cards now? The food stamp cards?
Oh, EBT. Oh, the EBT card.
Yeah, he has an EBT card in his hand. He's trying to hide it from because, he's at the ATM card. I'm right behind him. And I'm like, you can get cash advances on the EBT cards?
Yes, you can.
Well, it has to have a cash aid feature to it as well.
But here's
because that's where they get their cash aid at as well.
Yeah, right. It's all on one card.
But here's the ironic, because they kept denying him whatever he was trying to get. But here's the ironic part. He's out there screaming, I'm a man. And yet you got an EBT card in your...
Well, I think it's fair to say, because I don't know what their situation is.
Yeah, I don't know the situation. I'm just saying I thought it was ironic.
Just because a person has an EBT card, that doesn't mean they're not a man. You don't know what their situation is.
Right.
Maybe they're down on their look. Maybe he lost his... Just maybe. Maybe he lost his job.
You got all the tattoos, right? Right. Or Amazon, right? And that's true. But I just thought it was ironic how, I'm just thinking, why are you hiding a card? I mean, if you're on it, you're on it. I mean, because when we were coming up, you got food stamps. It wasn't kind of shameful, but I just remember it was something that it wasn't a lifestyle. Well,
the thing is, too, a lot of people fail to realize is to be poor is very humbling.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's not like most people are out there flaunting it. Hey,
get over
it. Look at me.
I mean, that's a very humbling experience.
Right.
So,
I mean, when you're in the military, you're poor, right, Tay? Am I correct?
No, we're not. We're not poor. We po.
Yeah, we po. I mean, seriously, a lot of enlisted people are on food stamps.
Yeah,
a lot of us.
People with
that's really a tragedy.
Right,
that is.
But we're going to get into some other topics in the next hour, so stick with us. This has been an interesting topic. Sean Fortine, Tay Wilder, the Phantom Menace, and me, Donovan Sadiq, and we're going to be right back after we pay some bills.